Welcome back everyone and welcome to World of Warship and let's talk new branch and new ships. Today I'm featuring two videos, one port information and overall general information about this new bad boy, the Talin, a new oncoming tier 8 Soviet I don't know, heavy cruiser, light cruiser, you may call it what you. Of course, it's heavy. It's not quite Chapayev's level of squishiness. However, the armor it's not big different. I repeat, guys, the armor it's not big different in thickness between Talin and Chapayev. On the other hand, it does have the Hipper's hole. So overall, guys, I will talk about a little bit all tier 8 cruisers, or which one I do have. And overall, I would like to say that it's not a bad ship. It's a good looking ship, and it is kind of weird that, sure, you may argue that this is a Hipper hull. Remember, and this is the biggest difference, Hipper does have better armor. So if you put on a layout, if you definitely see here, I put this one as well, 25. Only over there it's 27, but all over the place it's 25 beside here, which is 40, and you do have this icebreaker, which is 40 also millimeters. But overall, the biggest difference between Talin and Hipper is that this part is 27 on Hipper, and same story here, 27 instead of 25. So if we go to Hipper, you see the difference. It's literally 2 millimeters better all over the place beside here in the middle part, which has the same armor. So this is the biggest difference, 27, 27. The Talin has 25 here and 25 here, and same 40 millimeters icebreaker. But the comparison about those two ships, it's huge. Let's talk about everything what I consider. By the way, before I gonna jump to anything else, let's talk about this turtleback armor, which does not work from long distance, but from very short distance it's kind of not impossible, depend on what ship you're engaging with. But what I'm trying to say, you definitely see the turtleback armor over here, and same story is with the Talin. Does have some space armor, some turtleback armor, you definitely see. But the truth is, guys, here is the main biggest difference. It's that this ship has 12 180 millimeters guns, and 12 is 12. Hipper only has 8 203 millimeters guns. Guys, there is a huge difference because the Hipper reload exactly 2 seconds faster. So it is a big deal, 2 seconds faster. And probably the only downside with this ship, the Talin, it's kind of a meh reload time. You're not a DPM monster. But the truth is, guys, and here's the weird stuff, it's that the Talin is actually better concealment, 11.2 with concealment expert, and I'm talking about with the captain of the concealment, and same story versus Hipper. So 11.2 versus 12.4, same damn hole. So that is, for me, it's a mystery. And something else, even though the Hipper is a great ship, it's a great brawler, I like this ship a lot, I only have the Port Devil Hydro. However, when you are bow on, I don't know if you will do that, but if you do, you only have 4 guns, for crying out loud. Reload 11.5 seconds. It's kind of a mediocre of a reload for 8 guns only. Here of the Talin, alright, you do have, if you are bow on, but you do have, 6 guns, for crying out loud. And you show a little bit of the side. I don't know exactly what's the difference between, but the truth is, guys, it's a huge difference between 4 and 6 guns if you bow on. And something else, and it makes kind of sad about Hipper. Hipper used to be a very crazy good in AA and used to have, good armor. It does have some part better armor than a Talin, but over here, guys, if you go into module, which I highly recommend, yes, you can put a defense, but that's not work in today's meta. I rather give you advice to put the hydro instead. And you do have 12 kilometers radar, which basically means once you are spotted, there's a DD, you pop the radar, and you have 18 seconds. So literally 1.5 salvo. So you don't have more than exact. And this is with the improved radar. But guys, it's better to have radar of 12 kilometers than no radar at all. And by the way, you still have the hydro. Something else weird, and let's talk about her AA. The AA on paper, it beats Cleveland for crying out loud. The big different. Let's talk about port. Let's talk about. You see, Hipper does have a lot of shorts. 6x4, 6x2, 20 millimeters, and you have 18x1, 40 millimeters, which probably it's the biggest DPM. It's long and mid range. You may argue there's a lot of DPM over there, but it is very short range. 5.2 in firing range of those huge damn guns, AA guns. Talin does not have 5.2. They do have 5.8, and most focus it's actually on long range and medium range. The Talin does not have short range AA. Overall, on paper they do have better AA value than the Cleveland or Hipper, which basically means that only the Kutuzov have better AA than this thing. This thing is a AA monster. I repeat, this thing is absolutely a AA monster. Something also else about I would like to say that it does fulfill the role of a cruiser. A role of a cruiser is to support your battleship, support your destroyer. You do have all the tools in the world. You do have AA cover, you do have hydro, and you do have torpedo power if someone is trying to YOLO. You don't want to YOLO this thing because you might actually die. Guys, of some very strange reason, even though it shares the Hipper hull, has better AA and better, shall I say, stealth. Kind of a weird, but it is what it is. Something else I would like to mention, this is kind of important. It's not a slug ship. You do have pretty damn good speed, but also the range. Hipper and Talin, they do have the same range. If we go to module, I'm talking about the guns range are 17.7, both of them. Once again, guys, the only difference between it has German hydro with amazing 6 kilometer detection and torpedo 4 kilometers. But overall, guys, Talin is definitely improved Hipper in many ways. I kind of forgot, and we're gonna talk about in the next video, this guns 180 millimeters. I have no idea, it's better than Dmitry Donskoy guns, absolutely laser guns, and you have crazy good flat arc, easy to hit anything, and they do overperform in that regard. Even though you don't have as high as AP each and every shell, Hipper has 5,900 damage, citadel damage, but this thing only has like 4,650. And now Hipper, of course, the biggest difference also I forgot to mention, has slightly better HE penetration, way better, 51 millimeters of German HE penetration, and chance to put your enemy on fire on Hipper, it's 13%, I do believe. Yes, and Talin only have like 11. Let's see, 11%. So you may argue that 2% less to put your enemy on fire, but guys, you have 12 guns, for crying out loud. You have, what do you call it, close to 30% more of firepower, and the reload, it's only 2 seconds between Hippers and Talin. and you have the same range. Now there is one huge big disadvantage for this ship. It's the rudder shift and turning radius. Turning radius is whopping 900 meters and rudder shift 8.7 versus Hipper, which is much more maneuverable. It does have 740 millimeters and 7.4 in rudder, so it's much more, shall I say, nimble, easier to turn. The Talin, it's more like a slug. But let's talk about overall some other ships which they do play like Talin, and I do like this French little monster. I consider this is a pretty damn good, and I will also explain. You see, there's nothing wrong with the Mogami and Atago. I love them both. They used to be powerhouse. They used to be when they was released, guys. This Mogami with those old beautiful guns, which was pretty. And let's talk about guns. I kind of forgot. The main selling point for Talin and also for Mogami, it's actually the guns, and I'm talking about two different kind of calibers, but the main thing is this 925 meters per second, which makes very easy to hit your target, even fast targets like destroyers and so on. You don't have to lead a lot. But the downside with this ship, and this is the only downside with Mogami besides it being extremely squishy and kind of a long, huge damn ship, it's that you are limited on 50.7, and when you're facing tier 9 and tier 10, 15.7 in maximum range will not cut it. You don't want to come within 10 kilometers. Sure, you do have torps and stuff like that, but the thing is that you most likely will be dead if you are coming in this range. Talin on the other hand has 15.7. How about real range? 920 meters per second, almost Mogami's flat arc shells, and reload 13.5, and the range is fantastic. Let's talk about module, and I do believe I already mentioned 17.7 kilometers. Now Charles Martel, it's almost the same play style. Long range HE spammer 17.6. Let's talk also about the guns. Reload in 11.2, but you do have this armament press eye. On the other hand, you only have, guys, 9 guns. You almost have the same range. You are way faster ship. Yeah, you do, because you do also have the speed boost, right? Or you don't. Maybe you don't. Module, I do have to apologize. Yes, you do have the speed boost and this main battery reload time. So overall, I would like to say that 9 guns reload 11 seconds, or 8 guns in Hippers also reload in 11.5. They are not a DPM monster, guys, and I would like to say that it's a limitation because you have to consider like this: how many guns you do have, one salvo, and how long does it takes to reload the guns. And I believe in that regard, even though the Talin has 2 seconds or 2.5 seconds versus Charles Martel, I still believe that you put more fires with Talin, even though you reload 2.5 seconds later, because you do have 12 guns, for crying out loud. So that is the thing. I'm not saying that you always can use all your guns, but I'm talking about how much potential damage one salvo. I understand that Charles Martel is different story, that you're kiting away, and this is kind of a fun ship to play, in my honest opinion, because even though some battleships wants to try to aim at you or plus 20 kilometers away snipe, it's not gonna, most likely you're gonna hit Charles Martel, because you can use your hack WSD and throw out the salvo. You have to be know exactly how many ships they are aiming. But what I'm trying to say is that this is a small ship versus Talin. This is a nimble, and of course the rudder and speed, it's not that great, but the turning radius is it's fantastic. Not the rudder. The rudder is kind of a weird that it's actually worse than Talin. They are both of them are HE spammer, but in Talin's case, more like a AP spammer. I would like to say that Talin, they do have this crazy good AP penetration value that many other tier 8 cruiser they lack. Literally they lack. For instance, the reason I almost never played the Cleveland, yeah, I do have a badass camo, but I feel, guys, that she's too darn weak. Yes, she was extremely strong at tier 6, not so much at tier 8 when you face tier 9 and tier 10. I mean, what the hell you can do versus Alaska? You can pew 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 her, try to put her on fire, but Alaska can kill a Cleveland almost in every single angle. And even though probably you can have Citadel easy Cleveland, but she eats damage like nobody's business. And the guns, guys, and the problem with the the Cleveland, that is the very sad what I'm gonna say right now. They are too darn floaty and too darn over short. I'm talking about the guns are too darn weak in this new meta. Kind of a AP 762 meters per second, floating maximum range 14.2. Absolutely hilarious bad. You only have to hug your island and never leave the damn island in the entire game. With other ships like Edinburgh, they do have smoke, and Chapayev, it's different gameplay because you do have crazy good concealment at 10.4 and radar 12 kilometers, but also Talin can stealth rate. The problem with this ship, and this is also something problem, you cannot angle versus some battleship. No matter how you angle, you're gonna eat a lot of ships because she is too high in the water and she's too squishy of a target, and she does not have turtle back, she does not have any whatsoever. So Chapayev, it's a very fragile ship. It's a strong ship. There is some cool missions like I have Nurai or all the other scenario that I take this ship because she's a DPM monster. She's a lovely ship to play in some kind of a scenario battles. However, in the rank or regular random battles, she's kind of so I put it this way, some maps they kind of hard to do well. That's what I'm trying to say, because you cannot afford to be seen. Guys, overall, even though the game's play is different, and even though some ships they do perform more open water like Cholmatel and kiting away using your speed boost and so on, I consider her, Talin, one of the best ships, together with Kutuzov, which is not available anymore. The problem with Kutuzov is 19.1 kilometers in range and smoke and crazy good AA. You don't quite have the level of Kutuzov, but not far either. All focus is of those long range AA guns, because you don't have any short whatsoever. Overall, I consider her well worth to grind. It's sad to say that, guys, even though I love my RP Takao and Natago, they are still fun to shape, hard hitting guns, very high percent to put your enemy on fire. But guys, once any ships aiming at those, if you don't kite away and use your rudder left and right, you have a struggle to survive. And guys, and here's something else. Yes, you have a lot of firepower, but man, you reload in 16 seconds, for crying out loud. And over here you have 12 guns reload in 13.5 seconds, and the AP performer, it's not from this Earth, and that is the selling point of this ship. If you are going versus brawling or anything else, they might actually die because of you have a good torpedo power, you have a lot of and they do whopping damage. You do have hydro, you do have crazy good AP performance and AA. So together with the radar, together with the hydro, together with all this package and turtleback armor, she is actually, guys, one of the best tier 8 cruiser up there. She fulfilled the role of your battleship support, destroyer support, with the radar, with the hydro, torpedoes, and a performance. So yes, I highly recommend you grind this thing. It's a small beast in my honest opinion, in some case close to the strongest one, guys. She has extremely short weakness beside the turning radius. The turning radius, it's a balancing factor, otherwise this thing should be definitely too strong. But remember, she is a slug. She won't dodge any torpedo anytime soon if there is a destroyer nearby. On the other hand, that's the power of this ship. It's almost like a Belfast. Okay, I got spotted, you pop their radar and you're trying to deal with the destroyer. Now the downside is it's kind of a short radar, but you can still stealth radar. That's the thing. You are spotted, you use your radar instantly, and at least together with your ally try to deal with that destroy in that short period of time. So let me know, guys, in a comment below what you think about the Soviet tier 8 Russian pretty damn strong good cruiser Talin. Have a good one, guys. Take care and bye.